Hello, Morongo Basin, listeners around the world, online at Z107.7fm.com. This is your Z107.7 local news for Saturday, October 5th, 2024. It's a busy weekend here in the Morongo Basin with lots of returning events that mark the end of summer and a return to a busier fall. Summer can feel slow around here, so if you're like me and you've been itching to get out and ramble around the desert, you have your pick of things to do this weekend. First up, the Highway 62 Open Studio Art Tours kick off the first of 3 weekends today. 188 artists and 133 studios all throughout the basin are opening their doors and displaying their art. The self-guided artist tours are getting more and more sophisticated each year with one of the best designed physical books, along with a great phone app that helps you plan your studio visits. You'll see signs pointing to studios all over the high desert throughout October, so start planning your visits by visiting mbcac.org to see where you can grab a catalog or download their app. And the Joshua Tree Gem and Mineral Show has been going on since Wednesday at their new venue, the Joshua Tree Lake RV and Campground. This annual event features rocks, fossils, minerals, geodes, along with jewelry and other handmade items crafted from our volcanic planet. Parking and admission is free, and the event runs today and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Joshua Tree Lake RV and Campground. That's out at 2601 Sunfair Road in beautiful Joshua Tree, California. And Orchids finished the trifecta of art, rocks, and flowers. The 28th annual Goobler's Orchid Festival will be lighting up Landers with a whole host of activities this weekend. The annual event brings thousands of people out to the greenhouses at Goobler's, where you can oogle orchids, eat food and drinks inspired or made by the charismatic flora, and of course take some flowers home. Chris Goobler was on the Up Close show last Friday talking about this weekend. Here's Chris and Gary.
First class we have is 10:30 Saturday morning, October 5th, and that's just basically the care and feeding of the Phalaenopsis, which is probably the most popular orchid.
You are going to select your plant. It could be whatever colors we have, and they're going to go through how to repot it into the next size container, and they're going to teach you everything you need to know about
how not to overwater it.
Right.
Yeah. Then you have coming up at noon on Saturday the 5th and Sunday the 6th at 12:30 is the orchid arrangement class, and you said this is getting to be pretty popular.
Very popular. You get to pick 1 or 2 orchids and a house plant, and you learn how to make this arrangement.
Then on Saturday at 1:30, you've got the carnivorous plant class. We were talking about the Venus flytrap before. Are there other carnivorous plants?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. We have the Nepenthes, which makes a big cup hanging down. We have some really great specimens now because we've grown them for another year. And so you'll learn not just about the Venus flytrap, but other carnivorous plants. And I think you may be able to pick a different carnivorous plant to plant yourself at the class.
And then we've got the intergeneric and exotic orchid class. That's 3 o'clock on Saturday the 5th.
Intergeneric Oncidinae, that's another tribe within the family. You have pansy orchids, spider orchids. You have all types of different orchids and colors. And this is a class where you get to pick one of those types of plants. You'll transplant it into a bigger container and learn all about it. It's really my favorite group of plants.
Okay. And then finally on Sunday at 11 is the mixed orchid class.
It's kind of a potpourri of what you would like to pick. We're trying to offer different classes. And so this one is more of a potpourri of different orchids, and you would pick one and kind of a general overview of the whole orchid family.
So the easiest way to sign up is probably GooglerOrchids.com.
Yeah.
The Orchid Fest is out at 2200 Belfield Boulevard in Landers. Today it starts at 10 and goes to 5, and Sunday will be going from 10 to 3. It's a great local event that benefits a lot of nonprofits all around the high desert. Learn more about the Orchid Festival by going to www.gooblers.com or see a link at this story at our website, Z107.7fm.com. Amidst all these open studios, 2 galleries and 29 Palms are debuting new shows tonight. With more, here's art lover Jeff Harmatz.
The 29 Palms Art Gallery is holding a reception tonight to celebrate their 2 October shows. In the gallery's West Wing is an exhibition titled With Water, With Wind from Yucca Valley-based artist Joanna Fadchuk Garcia. The artist's 2-dimensional work has been shown in exhibitions around the world, including Poland, Germany, Korea, Mexico, and throughout the U.S. In the gallery's East Wing, They will debut new work from Timothy Warren, a resident of 29 Palms. Warren is a retired U.S. Marine Corps gunnery sergeant with PTSD, and his artwork helps keep him grounded. His new work will be shown in an exhibit called A Mind Expanded. A reception featuring both artists will run from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. The 29 Palms Art Gallery is located at 74055 Cottonwood Drive at the corner of National Park Drive. And a little further east, at the Glass Outhouse Gallery, a new group show debuts. Featuring the work of Heather Sprague, Davino Chicoche, Maria Cruz, Kathy Butt, Dee Tomlinson, Catherine Smith, and the Mojave Artists of Color Collective. The expansive Glass Outhouse grounds are a fun and unique place to see dazzling artwork. The Glass Outhouse reception runs from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m., and you can find the gallery at 77575 29 Palms Highway. Reporting for Z107.7, I'm Jeff Harmatz.
This Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. at the Mojave Desert Land Trust, curator, artist, and activist Sant Khalsa will present Desert Forest, Life with Joshua Trees, a collection of essays and imagery that illustrates our deeply entangled relationship with the tree. The book shares research to spotlight the Joshua tree in response to the growing threat of climate change and the explosion of development across the Mojave Desert. Along with the book release, an expert panel will be on hand to talk about the tree. Joshua Tree National Park Superintendent Jane Rogers will talk about the park's commitment to the future of the species. MDLT Executive Director Kelly Herbenson explores the future of the species through the lens of their desert seed bank. And MDLT board member and former wildlife biologist Gary Hund will take a closer look at conserving the Joshua tree in the era of climate change. It's all being moderated by Chris Clark from the Desert Advocacy Media Network. You can get free tickets for the Sunday evening book release and panel at a link at this story on our website. And on Sunday from 9 a.m. to 1, the Landers Open Air Flea Market will be posted up in the upper parking lot of the Moose Lodge on 58266 Ricci Road, right across from the post office. There'll be their usual mix of eclectic vendors, crafters, and tailgaters with a whole assortment of desert goodies to spend some cash on. Plants and cactuses, fresh goat milk soaked from Chula's handmade soaps, refreshing drinks to beat the heat from Desert Midnight Lemonade, and other homemade and handcrafted items made and sold by your friends and neighbors. Vendor space is free, so come on out to Landers this Sunday starting at 9 a.m. The Big Morongo Canyon Preserve is seeking a new board member. According to a post by the preserve, the board member would serve as an expert contributor, mission ambassador, staff cheerleader, and fundraiser. Candidates must be a donor and be willing to serve a 2-year term and to participate in monthly board meetings. For more information, you can visit their website at bigmorongo.org, or better yet, head down to the Big Morongo Canyon Preserve halfway down the hill right off 62. You'll be glad you did. It's a unique experience and a great change of scenery. And speaking of scenery, all the way down the hill, the Whitewater Preserve is fully reopened to 7 days a week, with weekend reservations no longer required. They'll have a trail work volunteer day this Thursday, October 10th, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And finally, the Desert Book Club is meeting this Sunday to discuss Janet Tucker's How to Be a High Desert Minimalist Gardener. The club will be meeting at the author's acre-and-a-half garden, which the book club says she's been cultivating with artful care, persistence, and humor for the last 2 decades. The book is sold out at many local shops, but the author will have 20 new copies available for purchase on Sunday. It's an updated edition that includes new pages about changes that were made due to the ferocity of this last summer. That's the Desert Book Club meeting up at Janet Tucker's Garden this Sunday at 10 a.m. You can find more information at this story on our website, or you can visit desertbookclub.com. And coming up on Saturday, October 12th, save the date and your appetite for the 14th annual Johnson Valley Oktoberfest. For only $12 for adults or $8 for kids, you get some classic German fares such as bratwurst on a roll, German potato salad, sauerkraut, Brussels sprouts, and of course, desserts. The doors open at 3 p.m. for pretzels and beer, with dinner at 6 o'clock, all taking place at the Johnson Valley Improvement Association at 50567 Quailbush Road in Johnson Valley, California. Save the date, October 12th. And that's your local news for Saturday. You can hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. More Morongo Basin residents get their local news from Z107.7 than any other source. Reporting out of Joshua Tree, California, alongside the award-winning Z107.7 News Team, I'm Robert Hayden.